Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It's Rachael here at Ditch the Diet, and welcome to another episode of the Ditch the Diet podcast. Okay, so don't get used to having this many episodes of the podcast out on 1 week, but we do have another new episode today, and we have another episode with one of our Ditch the Diet Academy members. This time we are talking to Jo about her journey so far. Jo is a fairly new Ditch the Diet Academy member, so it'll be interesting to hear from her and to hear about how her journey has been so far. If you're interested in becoming a Ditch the Diet Academy member, the best place to start is to join our 5-day introductory programme, and the good news is that starts this Sunday. That's the 1st of September, by the way. In yesterday's podcast, for some reason, I said that Sunday was the 31st of August. I've just got my dates mixed up. I'm an absolute nightmare like that. Sorry about that. So we do start a 5-day introductory programme this Sunday, the 1st of September 2019, if you're listening in real time. And all you need to do to register for that is go to the website, and it's ditchthedietacademy.com/5 days. That's the number 5 and the word days. Or just scroll down on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever you're listening to read the show notes, and you'll be able to just click the link in there. So let's get started. Let's listen to Jo's journey so far, and I'll be back at the end just to remind you on how you can get started with yours. So I know you've not been a member for too long, so no. I'm sure you will be able to remember the way that you felt before you joined, because sometimes when we do these recordings, people have been members for months and months, and they kind of forget what it was like before. So tell me a little bit about your life, like before you joined Ditch the Diet. So what is your life like anyway? I'm guessing it's very busy.
Just imagine. Yeah, I mean, life's chaos. Everybody, mums like me, it's just the way it is, isn't it? You're constantly on the go. It's nothing about you. Always about the kids or your other half or your family. Somebody needs something, so it's never about me. But then I tried things like the quick fixes, because I didn't have time to do anything focused on me. I would do anything that was quick, anything that was well, not necessarily cheap, because they weren't cheap.
They're not, are they?
And you're just constantly beating yourself up because they are so hard to stick to and to, it's that, I know everybody says it's that vicious cycle that, you think, yep, I'm doing it perfectly, and then something happens and it's not necessarily, and then it messes up, and then you think, oh, well, sod it, I'll just carry on binging on this, that, and the other, and constantly beating yourself up, whether you're doing well or whether you're not. It's the worst way possible to be.
How long had you been feeling like that then? How long had that been going on for?
Well, I'm 40, so...
You do not look 40, by the way.
Oh, thanks! You are now my new best friend. No, well, from teenage years, I was always bigger. So, it was... And then you did start the daft ones. The ones that your friends told you about.
Yeah.
If you do this, then it's the Peter Kay thing, isn't it? 14 stone in a day. Exactly those kind of things. So since then, I mean, it's been a vicious cycle since then, and I've been as low as I think I was 9 stone 2 at one point, and other times I've been up to 18, 19 and swinging rapidly between the two. So yeah, and never feeling good about yourself ever, whether you are little or big. Because when you get small, people, oh, you don't look well, you've gone too far,
Yeah, it's like you spend so much time trying to please other people, I think, sometimes, and you forget that it's actually for you. And it's like for me when I was younger, I probably did my first diet when I was at high school, and it was like slim fast shakes and stuff like that. I used to buy like the little bars, the little slim fast like caramel bars. And when I look back, I think, oh my God, I was like a size 8. Like, what was I thinking? And I think
I was like that.
Everyone has these sorts of memories. So, what had you tried more recently in the past to achieve what you were trying to achieve, and why do you think that didn't work?
My main two were always Weight Watchers, until it changed to this ridiculous new system, which apparently doesn't actually make you lose weight. I always went back to the old point system from, I think it was the year 2000, that I knew inside out, back to front. And whether I went to the meetings or not, I was still doing that one, but going, oh yeah, I'm following the right one. See, I mean, that's dangerous in itself, isn't it? I mean, they're not actually checking. And then Cambridge.
Yeah, this is one I've heard a lot about. I have not done this one.
I lost 7 stone in 7 months.
Far out.
I know, and you say that, and you think everyone's going, "Oh, wow, that's amazing," and then you think, that's not amazing. I mean, still now, my hair falls out because I've stopped like 3-4 months ago now, and I hate brushing my hair. I hate washing my hair because it comes out in clumps.
Oh my goodness.
And it's only when I was doing that.
Something's not right there.
Well, 800 calories a day for 7 months.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that if anything, a positive that comes from that is it's building resilience, I guess. Because I think anyone that can live on 800 calories a day must have some serious amounts of willpower and motivation.
That is true though, because I am very good on a diet, really. I'm very good because I've got rules, because I'm ex-teacher, you see. I've got rules and I follow them, and this is what happens. And if it gives me results quite quickly, I will follow it. But then I can't do the after bit. And literally after it, they sort of go, yeah, fine, goodbye. And you're like, I don't know how to eat. I know how to obviously starve, and I know how to binge. And you've not told me how to get that middle way. I don't eat like normal people.
And how are you finding? So first of all, how did you find out about the diet in the first place?
No, I read that question that you sent me, and I thought, oh God, what was that person's name? There was someone on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Tagging DTD, and I thought, what is that? And they were promoting that kind of healthy way of living. So I was Googling, and then I came across you, and then I found you on Facebook, and then I found your 5-day mini thing, and I thought, what, £5? Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I love to hear how people have found out about Ditch the Diet, because there's just so many weird and wonderful ways that people have found out about it.
Still can't find. I went through Instagram. I was like, was it you? But after I'd done my declutter, I have a feeling that I might have deleted them.
Yeah.
My feng shui, get rid of everyone, declutter. So I'm like, I don't think I follow you anymore. Oh dear.
So the 5-day intro program that you did, how did you find that? Because obviously we are opening the academy again mid to end September, because we closed it a few months ago, just to rejig a few things, and we're reopening it, and we're doing another one of them next week. So for people that are listening that are maybe interested in joining, how did you find that initially? What was different about it than what you'd done before?
Because I wasn't focusing on food.
Yeah.
It was on one of your nightly things. I asked the question, what are we going to learn about food? And it was like day 4, because it was the first time that I was not on a diet, because I know it's not a diet, but I wasn't thinking constantly about food, but I was already thinking I was thinking it for myself, not being told by somebody else, if that makes sense. So I was decluttering my kitchen. I got those diet products. I was gobsmacked at how many I found lurking around my house, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I'm getting rid of all of those, and then looking through my fridge and thinking, I've got loads of stuff that I buy every week that I don't actually eat, but I love, like spinach and rocket, and they get shoved to the bottom of my fridge. And I immediately started thinking, do you know what? I had that pasta salad that I love with red pepper and rocket, and I made it. Do you know what I mean? Because I was actually looking beyond the food. Oh, that sounds airy-fairy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, no. I find I always like to get members to describe it because I find it quite hard to describe. I also find it really hard to write down. So if someone asks me, so what exactly is this Stitch the Diet thing? I'm like, well.
Because I was trying to describe it to my friend. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you should try writing it down.
No, I'm not on a diet.
What are you doing then? Yeah. So since you've joined, how long has it been now? It hasn't been that long.
What am I on now? I think it's 2 weeks into. No, am I day? I can't remember. I got my email this morning for my T21, and I can't remember which one it is.
I think it's about 3 weeks or so.
Yeah,
roughly. So, how do you feel, like, compared to how you felt, say, 2-3 months ago? How do you feel now? What are the biggest things that have changed for you?
The biggest thing, I think, is those negative thoughts, which you talked about in the 5-day thing, that when those negative thoughts come, and they still come, I'm not lying, they'll come every day, regular as clock. But I don't wallow in them anymore. I stop myself and say, no, okay, that top doesn't look great, but, my like today, look, my shoulders look nice today. It's that kind of thing. I don't wallow in those thoughts and go, yeah, that's me. Aren't I just a fat pig? That kind of thing. I am, they're not stopping, but they are most definitely easing. They're not as I don't constantly think how awful I am, and what's awful about those thoughts is it's not just you thinking about yourself. You start to think ridiculous things like, so I'm fat, so I'm useless, so I can't do this and I can't do that, and it just escalates, and that doesn't happen anymore because I do catch myself and do the no, Jo. So that's stopping. The making better choices. Am I 100% with my meal plans? No, because life happens.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you're at the park. Okay, yeah. Well, I have a latte, but I don't beat myself up. That, oh my God, I've had a latte. That's it. I need to binge on everything in the kitchen, and I'll start afresh on Monday. I don't do that. That Sunday night, or it would have been yesterday, wouldn't it? After the bank holiday, I will eat everything I can because tomorrow I'm going to be good. That does not happen. That hasn't happened since I started after the 5-day thing.
That's amazing.
That is huge for me. Do I always have healthy food and everything? No, but for me to not do that is massive. So yeah, this is why I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool. No, I totally get the Sunday night thing, or depending if it's been a bank holiday or not. I used to be exactly the same. So with the new groups starting next week and the week after that, what advice would you give to someone that's listening that might be has been listening for a long time, that wants to join but hasn't? What advice would you give to that person? If you can think back to how you felt, did you have any reservations about joining? What were the only
thing I thought was, what can it possibly be? I was more intrigued than having a reservation, which made me want to join more. I was like, this is strange. But my advice would 100% be do it. And no matter how, I think you call it woo-woo?
Yeah, woo-woo.
Yeah. How many crazy do you think, like, go and clean your fridge might sound? Do it, because it's so... It works. It's weird. But yeah, no matter how crazy it sounds, do everything that your little workbook. I love the workbooks, by the way. Being a teacher, isn't it?
Oh, I'm so glad you like them. And we're redesigning them at the moment, actually, to make them more printer friendly. Yeah, because apparently you use a lot of ink, so that's not good.
Yeah, I did mine black and white,
Yeah, well, they'll be redesigned shortly to be more printer friendly, which is good.
Yeah, definitely print them out. That's definite, because I read them all, obviously, on my phone or my iPad or something, and it wasn't. And I thought, I'll just leave them on there, because I haven't got any ink.
Yeah.
And I thought, this isn't going to work. I need to write, and I need to highlight. And when you say read it twice, because I missed loads, and I thought, should I message? And then I thought, no, I'll read it again. Oh, there's the answer, because everything was in there.
I think you're one of the few people who really reads everything.
This is the teacher, Rachel. I must listen to instructions. I will do as I'm told.
Oh, well, thank you so much for taking the time this morning, and you're out of your busy schedule to.
You're very welcome, and I've not had any interruptions. It's amazing.
Thank you so much to Jo for joining me for this episode of the podcast. It's very much appreciated. I hope you have enjoyed listening to another story of one of our members. It's always good to hear what it's really like when you actually join the academy, because like I said, as part of this interview, I find it really hard to explain exactly what it is and exactly what it can do for you. So it's much better that you hear from one of our members who is in the trenches, so to speak. So thank you to Jo. Jo started with our 5-day introductory programme, and you can start there too, because our next one starts this Sunday. That's the 1st of September. And you can join by going to ditchthedietacademy.com/5 days. That's the word, the number 5 and the word days. ditchthedietacademy.com/5 days. And you can join, and we can start on Sunday together. And then the Diet Academy reopens mid to end September, so it's all go over the next few weeks here at the Diet. And I'd just like to thank you for joining me for another episode of the podcast. I hope you are enjoying the podcasts. If you're a long-term listener, or if you have just joined us, please don't forget to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot to me. It will take no longer than about 2 to 3 minutes of your time to just scroll down on the Apple Podcasts app, click the 5-star button, and leave a couple of sentences about how you are finding listening to the podcast. So that's me today. No more from me. I'll be back on Thursday this week with a really interesting episode about all about intuitive eating, what that means, and should we be practicing it. So join me again on Thursday for another episode of the pod. Until then, have a great week ahead.